Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Kentucky lawmakers weigh in and get an update on the expansion project at Rupp Arena. And for businesses receiving payments via payment apps, the IRS will begin to crack down on those transactions. We have some recommendations from financial experts.
Chilly weather continuing to settle in for tonight, but we do have some milder weather on the way. I'll have the very latest coming up right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Work to expand and renovate Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center is getting much closer to completion. The multi-million-dollar project was paid for in part through an allocation from the Kentucky General Assembly. Today, the center's CEO and managers gave lawmakers an update, along with a request for help from rescue plans dollars allocations. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what was said to lawmakers in an interim committee meeting in Frankfort.
5 years ago, state lawmakers were asked for help when Rupp Arena started a major renovation. When COVID-19 hit, it dealt a crushing blow to the entertainment, sports, and convention business center.
March 12, 2020 was the day that the earth stood still for me. We were in the second day of the girls' Sweet 16. The following week, boys' Sweet 16 was canceled.
Bill Owen told lawmakers only 17 of their 126 full-time employees kept their jobs. Since then, they've been building back in nearly every way possible. The $310 million expansion will culminate with some new access points.
New and spectacular entry foyer to Rupp Arena at level 3, circulation space on levels 1 and 2, and a climatized pedway that will rejoin the Hyatt Regency lobby to the arena lobby.
Local tourism officials are asking for $75 million of American Rescue Plan money. Tourism took a major hit during the pandemic, and they say that this money can help them bounce back. Tourism officials say they're competing with cities in Indiana, Ohio, and other states for conventions and want to better market the region.
To market and promote meetings and convention business and welcome them back into the beautiful state of Kentucky and to leave their money here with us in our state.
Several lawmakers noted the new look of Rupp Arena and questioned when access will improve.
By March, it'll be full-blown access.
If tourism does receive the $75 million, it'll be split between several cities to bring in more people to the entire region. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
With current President Bill Owen retiring next year, General Manager Brian Sipe told lawmakers they are using a nationally known managing firm to enhance the arena's marketability for events.
Bit of a soggy start to our Thursday around the mountains today as a cold front brought in showers and much cooler temperatures, something we're actually starting to clear out from as we head towards sunset. I-64 at Moorhead. You see, we've been diminishing those clouds as we've gone through the afternoon as our front continues to work on off to the east. Mountain Parkway at Slade, a brilliant sunset underway right now out there as we're starting to get the last of those clouds out as that sun sets in the west. So a beautiful shot there. Temperatures still chilly. We've already dipped into the upper 30s in Hazard and Pikeville, 39 apiece. 40 Prestonsburg, 41 Jackson. Slightly milder into the Cumberland Valley where they've seen just a touch more sunshine today. 45 right now at Somerset. Pinpoint Doppler, well, our front has pushed on off to the east. We're done with the showers for now, and we're also going to be reintroducing some very cold temperatures to the mountains. So keep that WYMT weather app handy tonight because we are headed down into the 30s and eventually upper 20s as we head towards sunrise on our Friday. A chilly day ahead tomorrow, but some moderation on the way. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. So far, more than 23,000 children in Kentucky have received a COVID vaccination. That age group has only been eligible for the vaccine in the last week. That's 6% of the population for that age group. UK Healthcare has given out more than 1,000 of those at their pediatric clinic. They are hoping to give out more ahead of the holidays. Doctors understand, though, that some parents may be hesitant.
I think there's been a lot of information out there that is not scientifically accurate. And I think it can be confusing for parents to know what to believe, what thing is backed by science and what isn't. I think that I can tell you is this vaccine is safe and effective.
UK officials say appointments are still available this week. The Commonwealth is seeing a concerning increase in overdose deaths. As we told you yesterday, a CDC report shows Kentucky had a more than 54% increase in deaths from April 2020 to April 2021. It puts the state third for the most deaths in that 12-month period. One Central Kentucky Fire Department is hoping to prevent future overdose deaths. The Richmond Fire Chief says they are now carrying Narcan.
It's something that you're glad to have if you need it. Obviously, if one of us get exposed to it, we'll have it there for ourselves.
The Richmond Fire and Police Departments plan to have the Narcan available by January 1st of next year. Understood and welcomed. North Healthcare's first bilingual medical practice is finally open in the Louisville area. Nurse practitioner Ledavina Portillo says this is a gift for her Hispanic community. In nursing school, she remembers just one other student speaking Spanish. As a patient, she said none of her personal providers spoke Spanish. When she first came to America, like many immigrants, she says she felt lost and unseen.
The healthcare system is very complex for anyone, but imagining how, if you don't speak the language, how difficult it is not just to communicate with your provider, but also the whole process of scheduling an appointment in a different language.
Doctors in the area say this will help the growing Hispanic population in the Louisville area, especially catching common health issues known to be hereditary for Latinos, such as diabetes, hypertension, and high cholesterol. 2 children who triggered Amber Alerts in several states, including Kentucky, have been found safe. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says Noah and Amber Claire were found safe outside of town in California. Noah's father, Jacob, has been arrested. He was suspected of kidnapping Noah. The majority of restaurant owners in Tennessee that applied for restaurant relief funding say they did not get the money they requested. The Independent Restaurant Coalition says more than 2,500 Tennessee restaurant and bar owners are still waiting to receive pandemic help from the Small Business Association.
I think that there's a public perception that a lot of restaurants are thriving, but I think behind the curtain, there's still a lot of challenges.
Now in Tennessee, nearly 4,000 owners applied for the relief money. A federal jury cleared 4 former coal company officials who were accused of skirting dust rules in 2 underground Kentucky mines. The federal jury in Louisville deliberated Wednesday for about 2 hours. All 4 men were found not guilty. The trial was a rare attempt to prosecute coal company officials on criminal charges. Defense attorneys argued that prosecutors lacked evidence that the men conspired to cheat the rules. The company, Armstrong Coal, went bankrupt in 2017. 9 people were originally charged in the case, but 5 reached plea agreements with prosecutors to avoid felony charges. The family of murdered Fort Hood, Texas soldier Vanessa Guillen were back at the nation's capital today. They were holding a rally in support of an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act. The act would allow victims of sexual assault in the military the right to file a claim to seek relief or financial compensation. An Oklahoma lawmaker shared his support for the act.
That yes, there's a problem. Yes, we need to have more studies done to it, but it needs to be put in law. We need to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else's daughter.
Vanessa was a 20-year-old U.S. Army soldier who was murdered on April 2020 inside Fort Hood by another enlisted soldier, Aaron David Robinson. Millions of businesses accept electronic payments for their services, but the IRS is cracking down on these types of payments. Those payment services include apps like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Zelle. Sina Saleem shares some tips for those using these types of apps to receive payments for their businesses.
It seems like cash is a thing of the past. Millions of people are using Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle instead to pay for their services. Well, now the IRS wants to know about it. Starting January 1st, providers have to report gross business payments of more than $600 to the IRS.
A business is defined, you know, if your goods or services have been exchanged.
Until now, the IRS usually only issued a 1099-K form for a business with at least 200 business transactions or at least $20,000 in gross payments. This change is because of the American Rescue Plan, which was signed into law early this year to crack down on unreported taxable income.
People will probably read it and get a little scared. Okay, so I do my, if you get your hair done or you go out to dinner with friends and pay rent and you do everything via Venmo or Zelle, are they going to send you a 1099-K? Generally, no. If you're not a business, if you're an individual.
What it comes down to is this. People who use apps such as Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal for their services, you won't be able to fly under the radar anymore.
One thing that they could do differently maybe is make sure that you have a personal account and a business account so that you don't commingle the funds, and it will be a lot easier to track once you're doing your taxes each year.
In Nashville, Sina Saleem, News Channel 5.
Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, it's a tradition dating back to 1947. To kick off the holiday season, we're introducing you to this year's national turkeys.
Well below average temperatures working into the region as we head into the end of the work week. I'll have the latest from Future View on the way.